Albino. Ah. Hi, Bill.
Hi, we're already recording.
Isn't that amazing?
Uh,
Yes, we
how are
are.
you doing?
I'm
How are
doing
your project? You're you're doing good?
I'm doing very well. Thank you.
Great, great. And your projects are finished?
Um, you mean the kitchen?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that was finished a few weeks
a few
ago.
weeks back. Yeah,
It's
good,
it's
good,
great. We're very happy with the result. A great improvement.
good.
Yeah. Did you happen to read the 365 Dow yesterday?
I did not, no.
Oh, it's a really good one yesterday.
You start on number one at January 1?
In the back there is a yes, but in the back there is a an index actually for each hemisphere, uh, so that you by the date, so you know which one to read on what date.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. For a long time, I had that sitting on my dresser. And I don't know what happened, maybe in one of the cleanups or something, that I interrupted that thing. But uh, I, I'm really glad you mentioned that because
Well, I don't feel
it's
bad.
amazing how often it tunes into something that you're
Yeah,
dealing with or thinking about or should be thinking about or
yeah. I uh, I started reading that when it was published, and I read it faithfully every day, probably for 5 years. And then more, gradually didn't really read it every day, but most days, probably for 10 or 12 years.
Mhm.
And then I had maybe a 5 year period when I didn't read it at all. And that led to my going back to it this year because I was missing it. So,
Mhm.
so that's why I mention it. Good morning, Bill Nagel.
Good morning. Morning, Bill.
Good morning, Bill.
How are you guys this morning?
I'm fine. I was
All
hoping
right.
for
Ooh,
some.
did you really say that? I'm
Yeah, I think I might have, yes.
you don't say that too often, Bill. I'm really delighted
Yeah.
to hear it. Well, I think our ladies are coming.
I'm sure they will be there.
Joanne said she was, or not Joanne. Carol wrote saying she would be here for sure,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
usually Joanne is with her or also comes. Oh, I think they're here. I hear voices.
All of our
Ta-da!
peppers. They were looking good. Somebody went up to pick some and it said the plants, the peppers and the peppers. Yes. And
Oof.
one of them was getting
I went.
so long. It's supposed to be tasty. The deer can't tell us how tasty it was. Good morning.
Oh, you're here. Good.
You couldn't hear we are here. No, our usual.
Is that Taoist time?
Yeah, right, exactly. I like that. Busy women time. It's not like we're just sitting around at home.
Take a hug. I can use that.
You could use that, all right. Hey, get another one. Yeah, the guys can hug it.
No, they.
Not from, we haven't got that. Yeah. Just wait though, it's a little scary. Hey guys.
Hi, hi. Well, I'm thankful for Zoom and being able to participate, but Zoom is a lousy hugger.
That's right.
True.
I know, Bill. You were like gone from my so-called radar screen for a long time, and now, yeah, now you can do the class.
Yeah. In reference to what you just said, yesterday Bruce was making a comment about the fact that he thinks AI is going to increase really the emotional input into everybody's life beyond what they can deal with.
Ooh.
Which and I think that's a concern.
Yeah. Well, and mostly it's a concern for like 100,000 workers who got layoff notices yesterday. From Amazon, UPS, Facebook, Meta, whatever, because of AI. There's like this just massive layoff
Yeah.
from 6 or 7 companies. Don't need you anymore. Sorry.
Ta-da.
Computers will do better.
They don't, though.
No, they don't. That's the problem.
That's the
They don't.
problem. They don't. Okay. Do you need more breathing time?
Little few longevity breaths. I'll be fine.
Good. How was your drive?
Yeah.
That was
Good.
The leaves are going though.
Oh, I know.
Your leaves are all on the ground.
They are. And Travis hasn't been here to remove them yet. But he will.
All right.
So what's happening?
I'll say the Shenandoah Mountain leaves are peaking, as you can see a little bit over
Yeah,
my
look
shoulder.
at that.
So,
Well, that's
so
a
that
positive. Is
that
that
gives
part
a
of
nice
your
fall
awareness?
energy. Yeah.
That's right.
But I did all my practicing inside just because it's a little cooler instead of going out on the deck or something this week.
And what did that do?
Well, it was a good week for practicing. First of all, I was consistent, and um, I didn't pay attention to anything you've been saying. I was just got on.
You were what?
Sort of, I was just doing it. So
Uh-huh.
At least you weren't
sometimes
overthinking.
you're right.
I'm
Okay.
kind of with Bill on that.
Well, you're with
Kind of-
Bill.
Well, I've been paying some attention to the choir and the midriff
Mhm.
somewhat, but not just doing it
Yeah.
is important.
But, you know, I think practice goes in cycles.
Yes.
You can't focus intensely on new pieces all the time. There have
That's
to be
true.
some breaks when you are integrating
Mm-hmm.
and doing some flowing. So it's not a bad thing as long as it doesn't become the only thing you do.
Right. Well, yeah, this was a week where, I mean, I'm taking 3 classes, right? So I'm kind of feeling sometimes like, oh my God, what am I doing today? Like, can I focus on, you know, God's heaven and earth, the flow, meditation, et cetera, et cetera. But last Thursday, David began his reading by apologizing to me because it was pretty much the same thing we did last Wednesday. So that was a
Oh.
benefit. And then in the flow, I am trying to do it without arms, which I find extremely challenging. But I am so much more aware of my qua when I do it. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
so I kind of feel like sometimes I get up and I'm like, what am I practicing today? I mean, they all come together, obviously. These are not 3 separate buckets. But it was that kind of a week where it kind of felt like whatever I was doing was helping with with the other practice.
Okay. Anything for you, Mr. Nagel?
Pretty much the same as everybody else. I think if I know where the midriff is, and in breathing, I can breathe into that area, et cetera, et cetera. I have trouble wrapping my head around it as a cavity. And as opposed to the armpits and the claw, which I certainly have some work to do on, but I can feel those in operation, but I don't have at all the same sense with the midriff. So not necessarily asking for a solution, but that's
Well, when you said that, one of the things I was thinking about was that to be clearly aware that that cavity is on the left and right channels. It's
Yeah.
not.
I mean,
It's in the
theoretically.
middle of that particularly important um, energetic circuit that we are trying to develop, both our awareness and the strength of the flow within it, and beginning to really recognize that there is a cavity there helps do that, because that can help strengthen the flow both up and down through that channel,
Mm.
which is what cavities do. So, and I think, because it's kind of seems like it's in the middle of space and not located at a place where we can focus and have focused before, it's a little more difficult in the beginning to be aware of, and so you're working on developing your energetic awareness of what's happening through that area. And it's not, I understand exactly what you're experiencing, because certainly I've been there. And it took me a while to begin to feel that there was really something there. So all I can say, I think, really is don't give up on it.
Oh, no. No.
Any other thoughts at the moment? Okay. So I want to continue. We've been working on opening and closing, and this is an extremely important function of the energy. And it is something that we really have to develop a real clarity about and be able to really feel, particularly those of us doing the Wu style, because simply standing experiencing opening and closing throughout the entire body is the first movement of that form. It can also be the first thing that you do with gods when you're simply standing at the beginning. And actually it should be, because if you have an awareness of establishing, or that the opening and closing and all of the other elements are established while you're simply standing, then it's much easier to continue them as you begin to move. So I'm gonna talk a little bit more about opening and closing, and do some practice with that. And that's kind of where we are today. So, any openings and closings that you're doing, not just your hands and feet and shoulders and hips and elbows and knees, are setting a basic rhythm inside the body. If you look through a really good microscope, you will see every cell getting smaller and expanding. And this happens in the blood vessels as well. They close and they open, and the blood flushes out. So openings and closings are the central biological rhythm. So what you are attempting to do is simply to have that rhythm inside your body reach an optimum level, or at least be better than when you start. So getting the knees and the elbows to do this is particularly important and helpful in getting this whole center to periphery flow going. Because once you can really and truly go from your dantian to your knees and your elbows, it's usually not going to be quite so hard to get it to go to your shoulders and your hands and your feet. But if it's not very strong between your knees and your elbows, then it's not going to be that strong in the rest of the body. So it's important to pay particular attention to that connection. It is not intrinsically more important than any other connection, but developmentally you could say that it is. Now, the qua is at the moment the leader of the band, the leader of the elbows and arms. It is the opening and closing of your qua that should cause the opening and closing of all your joints and all your cavities. So that's what you're working on. But we're building it up sequentially, and eventually we will have it. That every joint and every cavity in your body is moving in synchronicity with the qua. So you don't want the qua to get stuck. You want it to have a very even flow. So think of an energy gate, and let's say it's doing less than what it could. Why do you want to do everything? Why do you want it to do everything it could? Because that's going to tell every other opening and closing mechanism in your body to follow it. Not necessarily at the exact same speed, but at the same ratio. But if the gate is weak and the qua isn't strong, then maybe some of the joints from your knee down to your foot or from your diaphragm up won't work as well as they could. But it's not just going to be joints. It's going to be blood vessels, glands, and every anatomical part of your body that is going to be off at that point. So what you're trying to do is to bring them into sync. Now, there is one energy gate in your body that goes through the basic energy gates that go through your joints. And that's one energy circulation system in your body. But the cavities are more important than the joints, because the cavities are what connect all of your joints. And your cavities are what are responsible when you want to go down to it at the end, when you get down to it at the end of the day, for the openings and closings of all your internal organs and glands. So in this sense, you can have an energy joint that doesn't work and live, but if you don't have a heart inside you that's working well, then you're probably going to die. So you can lose one lung and you can lose one kidney. You can lose, but you can't lose both. So the cavities are more critical in terms of everything to do with health. In a linear way of thinking, your joints are opening from one point to another, and they close the same way. But that's not necessarily the way the human body works. Your body works if it has enough life force or puff to make something move, to open and close. But it may not be evenly distributed throughout your whole body. So your ankles could be doing a crackerjack job, but your shoulders aren't doing anything at all. Or you could have the cavity of the quad really going well, but the cavity inside the armpit is not. So what you're trying to do is make different places in your body be the metronome that tells you if you are opening and closing well. For example, if you want to make it your armpits, you can make it all your joints, or you can make one joint make sure that all your other joints are going in synchronicity with it. If you want to do a cavity, well, okay, do your quad. Maybe the most important one between you, maybe the most important one, but then you have a midriff, you have an armpit, and you want to make them all go very evenly. And when you do that, it's almost as though a light starts turning on inside you. The light that's within your cells. It starts to show itself a bit more, and you feel very fresh and very easy. So just keep in mind that there is no exact way to say where in your movement you will be when your joints have fully opened or when you have fully closed. There is variation. But what is the central point of all of this? Whether you're doing it in the ideal way or not, make sure everything in your body is opening and closing in a very millisecond. In every millisecond, you are doing God's. There is never a time when you can say, well, this part is doing it quite right, so I'll forget about the rest. Because what will happen is that even though the flow of energy through them will be very weak, at this time, in a week or two from now, they could be becoming strong everywhere. And you are always trying to get an even strong flow everywhere. We currently have lived in a capitalistic world. And in the capitalistic world, there is one very, very basic rule. Something is the power of yes, and enables you to make a massive amount of money, and something inside you has the power to stop it. Bruce has always called this the power of yes and the power of no. A great mathematician may not be a marathon runner. And if you are a professional basketball player, you don't have to be an Einstein, but you sure have to be able to move, and that's move that ball around. So Einstein didn't need to move a ball around. If you make billions in the oil industry, you don't need to know how to make billions in the steel industry or the biotech industry. The thing that you can do well, you do it and put all your energy into it until it grows. And that is usually how people do it. They play to their strengths. However, there is a problem. You can do that with external things, money, buildings, whatever you want to make the central matter. But you can't do that, you can't do it that way with your body. If your heart is not your strong point, but your liver is, making your liver stronger, but ending up with a heart attack, doesn't really work out well. You need to realize that everything in your body has to coordinate together for your body as a whole to work well. Yes, you could focus on specific areas that need a bit more of a boost, but always remember, the big thing in Qigong is to get everything inside your body, just as in time it is to get everything inside your mind to work together without sacrificing one part for another. In business, you have to put your energy into the area that works for you. You do not have to do everything well. But with your body, that sort of mentality which is the mentality we've all been raised on, doesn't work, because you can't say one part of your body is intrinsically more important than another. You really can't, because any part of your body can cause your whole bodily system to crash. So that mentality really does not work. So obviously opening and closing is pretty important. So we're going to just focus on movement 2 to begin with. So I'd like you to stand. Step out into your basic structure. And to begin, let your longevity breathing slow and stabilize, flowing throughout every part of your body. And then, at first, just standing, make sure you could have your mind travel from your feet, up your legs, through your quad, up the side channels, all the way to the crown of your head. And when you make it go down, from the crown of your head, down your side channels, through your quad, down your legs, down to your feet. Really feeling that extension of your mind through your body. Thinking that you're starting off with, yes, this is what I want to make sure is connected. As you get better at this, you can do it in 3 seconds, but in the beginning it may take you a minute or more. First, just be aware that the first posture we're going to work on is movement 2. Make sure you're starting off from knowing what your body really feels like and what it is trying to do. And then begin movement 2. Close your quad as you sink. Open your quad as you rise. Open your ankles and your legs. As you go down, close your quad. Now start having your arms going down. Pull your chi down to the bottom of your feet. When you have finished your bend, and start coming up the inside of your legs to your quad and your perineum, coming up to shoot your energy all the way to your fingertips and the crown of your head. And then back down. The closing of your quad will get your energy to go all the way to your feet. The opening of your quad will get your chi to go up your side channels to the crown of your head. But as soon as you reach the crown of your head, start closing your quad to begin bringing you down. The tricky part of this for many people is that they will have a tendency, when their arms reach the top, to hang out there, or just move the arms a bit and not actually be closing their quad and bending their waist. The second you're ready to go down, your quad is closing and bending your waist. As you're doing this, really focus that your quad and your knees and elbows are exactly in sync. Opening your quad, opening your knees and elbows, pull your energy up. Closing your quad, knees and elbows to push your energy down. All Qigong movements can be done by either pulling energy in a direction or by pushing the energy. So pushing your energy down to your extremities. Then pulling your chi up your legs and left and right channels to the crown of your head and your fingertips. And then you immediately reverse direction and start pushing down from your head down your left and right channels until you get all the way down to your feet. There is a lot of information about how you want to do this. Don't try and do it all at once. Just take the first instructions and do these for a few days, and then add the next until you can do both. And then add the third and the fourth. Don't try to shove it all in at once, which people have a tendency to do. Now focus that you are opening and closing all the joints of your body in coordination with your qua, with it opening and closing. As you're going down, closing all your joints. As you're coming up, letting all your joints open. As your arms bend and stretch, you can do it by closing or opening your joints when you bend. You can, when you stretch, do it by closing, as in movement 3, or opening your joints. The very first thing is just to get it into a smooth flow. Well, every movement could be done by pulling energy in a direction or pushing it. When you're doing something for your whole body, you actually want to make sure that you get a balance. You can decide on the easiest way to open and close. You can do it in the opposite way because your body does everything it does. In the standard way and in the opposite way. And that is about producing certain functions within it. It's not the 10 Commandments. That it must be only one way or the other. It's being done to open up the circuits in your body and chi flow in every channel in your body, in both directions. The next time you come up, you can let your arms relax and close. Sit when you're ready. I know that was a lot of movement too. But focusing on the elements that we were trying to address, what were your experiences? What are you feeling clearly? What seems to be a conundrum?
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yes, there is.
Where do I begin? I will begin with what you had begun with, maybe, which is the connection between the elbows and the knees.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's always, you have to not overthink the fact that the knees can't do the same thing that the elbows can, right? The knees are not not knock me and our knees around. Oh, but I was okay with that. I didn't overthink that one. And I really felt my elbows more. I felt them, just the constant twisting, opening, closing, and just aware of that. They're not just kind of doing this, right? They're really, yeah. I also, at some point later on, you talked about opening and closing all the joints, and I'm like, oh, my feet. Like I'd been feeling the energy going down to my feet, but I don't think I'd really been dealing with the opening and closing as much in my feet as I was with kind of feeling that everywhere else. And then I noticed when I focused on that, my hands just being more intentional about my hands as well. So I guess I felt that connection.
Good.
And trying to the trick is always, I think, not so much in closing, but in opening, not stopping at the top, or kind of making sure your head's not done and the rest of you are not. So I felt better at that, but I'm also aware that could be a problem.
Yes, anyone else?
Okay, so I paid attention to what you said about being beware over focusing on something in the body. And that for me recently has been the midriff, as I talked about before. So this time I decided to just let the midriff be part of the channel, running from the quad to the armpits and beyond, and that helped a lot, I think, to just allow the energy to be there, without saying, is that the midriff or is it not the midriff? So that felt better.
Good.
I did have I wanted a point of clarification. Did you say that the qua should close or begin closing when the hands get to the crown of the head? Because that doesn't align with the transition that I do from in to out.
Yes, when the hands complete here and you're starting to go down,
Oh, okay.
the qua would begin to close. I was not saying when your hands reach this height that your qua begins to close.
Okay.
No. Good point.
It's interesting. I was feeling as it going down, I could feel the energy flow much more completely, meaning through arms and side channels and legs going down, but somehow coming up, I can feel the energy coming up the side channel, up through the legs to a lesser extent than I feel it going down, and then through the side channels and up through the by way going up. But there's something that happens. I feel a lot of energy in my arms out here, but I didn't get it coming through my arms to get there, even though my hands end up feeling probably the most intense energy at the top. Uh, how it got there is, it just shows up, you know. Um, so
So that really has, I think, to do with making sure that elbows and knees and shoulders and hips are really opening and closing, particularly the elbows. The elbows are a real blockage in the arms for many of us, and we have to work through being able to get the energy to flow freely through there and those joints to open and close fully. um, so that we don't have a sudden rush of the energy into the hands, but it is a constant flow through the whole arm. So that's, I think, a very common issue that we need to work on in our practice. Practice, practice, practice.
I find it just really being more aware of the armpits that's helped me with that, Bill.
Yep.
Because I know what you mean. It's like suddenly, like, how come my hands feel this? But but from somewhere here to here, it doesn't. But I think for me, it's
Yeah. So this, of
armpits.
course, is trying to feel in the whole body, but it is really, I think one of the things as you begin to work on this is it's really helping us open up the legs.
yeah.
We really have to open up those things we stand on. And remember that the legs move 10 times as much energy as the arms. The arms aren't very important that way. They're not unimportant, but they are not more important. We tend to make them more important because they're out here in front of our eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But getting that energy to flow through the legs, through particularly being aware of the movement of the quad and the knees, is really important. Anything for you, Carol?
Well, toward the end, my back was starting to hurt, and I started saying, "Okay, what's going on with the spine? And where is that? How is that opening and closing?
Mm-hmm.
Just, it's
Yes, it is.
It's opening and closing. So just kind of it's trying to relieve that, just to see where the spine was doing its thing.
Mm-hmm. I became more aware of that later too, and then how the front and the back of the spine.
Mm. Yeah, it's really important to get the bend the bow, shoot the
Mhm.
arrow really
Yep.
flowing with all of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's another element, of course. But if you let the spine get stiff, then it gets tired and it begins to hurt. On a real physical level, I'd just say I've discovered, for instance, with my spinal stenosis, that if I tense up to resist the pain, it stays and gets worse.
Yeah.
And if I really release and focus on moving the energy through it, it gets better. Son of a gun. So that learning to really focus on moving the energy through the spine can be very valuable, particularly if you have spinal issues. So a little more. It can be very difficult to see if anyone is opening or closing any of the closing really any of the cavities. Particularly, you think about the elbows. If you're just watching someone, you probably can't see if they are actually opening the elbow or not. So when you normally stretch, you open the joints, and when you normally bend, you close the joints. But that's when it becomes difficult, because one can close a joint as it stretches, or open a joint to get it to bend. But it is not easy to see that because your skin is covering your joint. Bend and stretch, however, is very easy to see. So what I want you to do, just very short, is start movement 2 again. Just for a moment.
To get us off our chair, you have to promise us just for a moment.
And focus on the opening and closing. Remember, the qua is the leader. So try to make it cause the elbows and knees to open and close simultaneously. Now go into movement 3. And be aware of closing at 12 o'clock as you stretch. And closing as you bend at 6 o'clock. And then reverse direction. Closing at 12 o'clock, closing at 6 o'clock. Note the balance. And you can close and relax. help in what was going on at 12 o'clock?
Mhm. I felt it too.
It helps at 12 and 6. My questions come in at about, if we're going clockwise, it's between 2 o'clock and 2:45, if that makes sense.
I don't know.
Just as you open it,
Because
what's that around
I'm
here?
still twisting in till I get over till about 2:45 or 2:50, and then I'm stretching out.
Uh-huh. Yes.
And so the qua, I would think, would be still, it's closing at 12, but it's also, then I'm twisting my waist, but then the left qua feels opening and the right one feels closing unless I'm rotating it wrong. Um,
So you have to make a distinction between bend and stretch and opening and closing.
Mm.
So you are bending or stretching continuously. You are also opening and closing continuously, but this is one place where that doesn't always go in um, exactly together. That you are at times closing when you're stretching and opening when you're bending. So you have to allow yourself to make that transition without losing that. So that's one of the things that makes movement 3 a real challenge, because you are beginning to work with a different you're kind of being forced into working with a different coordination of some of the basic elements we've been working on.
yeah, it is a different coordination because if it was in the form, I would be opening up that right foot, and I'd be you know going to uh, the dynamic in this God is different in that piece than
Yep,
things we've encountered mostly before.
yep, that's right. Bill or Carol?
I haven't quite gotten 12. The
Mm.
the the quad is straining to get the dantian up.
The quad is stretching.
It's stretching, but it's also closing,
Yes.
and that
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
clearly the elbows and the knees are I can okay, yeah, they're they're closing at the top, but I haven't gotten the sense of how does this work? How do I move the dantian in that circle, but that at the top of the circle, the thing that's moving the dantian is closing.
Yep. So that you put your finger on the exactly on the issue.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can't give you a magic bullet here.
No.
Once you mentally comprehend what's happening, what's really important is that you let go of that and energetically feel what's happening. Because until you can be clear about closing, regardless of what the physical movement is, it's hard to do that. So the fact that you can do that, that was the point of part of what I was saying today, is that actually any movement can be done in both ways. So, so if we go back to 2, believe it or not, this can be opening, and this is closing. That's not what's referred to as the standard way, but it might very well, in some cases, work better that way. But it is kind of a mind twist. But that's, I have mentioned, I think many times in the past, that every movement can be done in opposite ways,
Yes.
and that it is the intention of what you are trying to accomplish is more important than that you just mentally coordinate everything. It's only practice. Any other questions at the moment or thoughts?
Yeah, I think there is a different energy leading with the qua. My practice most recently has been more thinking about the spine, back and forth as we go through the movement. So thinking about the qua more did change the energy for me.
Good.
So in some way that I'm trying to, I'll explore some more this week.
Good. Because we really need to go through this stage of having the qua fully be the leader of the band, as Bruce likes to say. Before we move to really being able to use the dantian or the spine as the leader of the band, because they can be also. But those are the 3 elements that can do that in our bodies. But the qua is really the first one to get established. Even if the spine becomes the leader of the band, it doesn't mean the qua doesn't flow in coordination. Of course it does.
Mm-hmm.
I found the helpfulness of thinking about that as the leader of the band, so to speak, is that I'm not worrying about the individual instruments in the band. Right? It's not
Good.
like, oh, wait a minute, it's my elbow and my, and it's like, there's that kind of emanator, the conductor, is doing the work rather than all the individuals going, hey, are you in the same place I am? And I think sometimes I am doing that, like, oh, wait a minute, But I did find that very kind of, just clicked.
That's
today.
good. Yeah. Good. Well, have fun practicing. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you
Have a
next
good
Hey,
week.
guys.
Yes, have a good one.
Yeah, enjoy the leaves.
Remember, this is
If I
the
leave,
first class
right?
of a new
Bye.
session.
Oh, I should have just paid you. I should get on the sync where I just pay you for both.
But But they're not in sync.
Well, I paid last week. They're a week away. Mine are only a week away. If they're 3 weeks.
Sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're not because things change.
We miss a class, or David miss a class. Yeah, no, that's okay. I mean, I still have checks. I still buy checks.
Okay.
I'm one of the few.
Me too.
I have them for a couple of things.
I know. We need to, with work, we need to do Venmo more because I'm out doing tabling and no one has money,
Mm,
you know.
yeah.
And we kind of got rid of the card thing because all of those, they were too hackable, I think is probably the word. You know, people are getting all sorts of gadgets attached to their phone and doing, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
I never did any of that. But,
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
really. Whew, I feel like I've been here for 3 hours. I'm sure I'm not, but it was that long number 2.
Yeah, that was substantial.
That was good though. No, that was,
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. I'm just,
No, no.
it's an observation.
Yes, as John said, reporting. I'm
Reporting.
not complaining, I'm reporting.
It was, I mean, I tried not to get into a trance about it because I wanted to be aware, but it was easy to kind of get into that, just really flow, kind of.
Mm. You know, that's one of the really one of the issues that we ultimately really have to clarify. I don't know if clarify is the right word, but we have to not get into a trance
Yeah.
because that's not what we're doing.
That's right.
But nor are we wanting to flow being only focused in the conscious mind.
Right, exactly.
So somewhere in there is a transition that has to occur where we begin to focus much more internally, still aware. And at that point you're aware both of what's here and what's in here
Yes.
simultaneously.
I think popular culture says go to the trance. Don't you think? I mean, I think
Yep.
kind of like people getting into,
Yep.
I want to do, you know, these spiritual practices to kind of,
Yeah.
as if you were doing drugs, you know?
Yeah.
I guess that
Exactly.
might be a correlation.
Yeah. Well, but I think that's what some people are looking for.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And certainly this can lead to that kind of, can lead to calmness.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is different than highness.
Yeah, it is.
I never thought about it quite that way, but I guess. Yes.
And being able to stay in the present moment and respond appropriately,
Yeah.
regardless of what happens.
Yeah, I'm really feeling that shift. Yeah.
Mm.
Challenging. But
Very-
when you taste it, you know, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
I need to go back to that. Or being more aware of when you're really doing it.
Yeah.
Noticing when that difficult person is a little bit less difficult to deal with.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm more prepared to deal with the different. Not that they're going to change. I know that. But you're right, Carol. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about difficult people on the way here.
As you said, Shelley used to say the day the kids were much easier to deal with.
Yeah.
Right. The day she practiced.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I tell Carol I had what could have been a difficult meeting last night. Because it was a kind of, some people were setting it up as an us versus them with two bodies within one organization. And it's like, I'm not. It's like one of the first things I said when people say, what do you want to get out of this? I said, I want to get rid of the verses. But then it's kind of like, how do I center myself to be there and listen and be present and
Yeah. Mm.
I don't know. But that's human nature, right? That's kind of what we're, you know, as a number of people said, no organization is free of conflict. Period. Because we're all different people. I mean, unless you're like part of a party that just says follow the rules.
Yeah.
I'm not really into that style of
You are?
of anything. No, I'm not.
I think I noticed that.
Yeah. My anarchism on some level shows through. If it's participatory, it needs to include everybody, and that's when it gets messy.
Yeah.
But that's, yeah. But the practice does make a difference.
Yeah. And speaking of practice,
Practice, every time.
form? Opening and closing in the form?
Well, like I said, I have not a lot this week, but a few
Yeah.
days really spent some time. I was able to, I think last week I reported that I was going back and forth between with and without arms. That's kinda-
There's spots that I need the arms to remember exactly what it is I'm doing.
Mm.
Like after the
Yes, that's one of the-
shoulder strike. Then I got then my body doesn't know without the arms showing.
How
me what
do
I'm
we
doing.
get to, yes. That is one. And then the challenge is I don't want to stop.
No.
Right, because what I found myself doing was stopping and going, what's next again? Which I don't have to do anymore.
Yeah.
I just did especially paragraph 1, I wouldn't have to do anymore. And now I'm suddenly like, what? And the last time I practiced, yesterday morning, the last 2, I didn't have to, that's still my, the one I had the most challenging. But a few others, I was like, oh, look, I did it without having to rethink.
Oh, good.
And without stopping at the end of every play, people. Which I have trained myself not to do, I think, with my arms, but then you're like, where am I going
Yeah.
next?
The other thing I've discovered, well, I've known it for a while, but after the first single whip, when we go into, I'm off balance.
Yes, yeah.
That
With or without your arms?
with or without my arms. But when I do this single whip after wave hands and then go in, I'm fine. I'm solid.
Huh.
So I'm thinking that first single whip, I'm not finishing. This foot is wrong. I
You don't have
have
that.
it too far out because I don't shift the weight correctly.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't notice that, so I didn't have the arms. I blamed it on the arms at first.
Well,
Or lack of arms.
I've noticed it other times. Oh, I've got no, my legs don't. Sometimes when you do the kicks, okay, you got to get the balance before you do the kick. Well, this is a kick, really.
Yeah.
That's a kick, yeah.
And okay, this leg is not willing to support me there.
Mm.
So
In the going
yeah,
around. Because it's not.
there, but further on in the form,
Yeah.
it's right there. So I think I just
There
move it out too much
There
in
is
that first single whip.
there is a tendency because of how we're coming into that to turn that foot too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you're diagnosing that right.
So if it's turned too much, yeah, you have enough.
Because we
Especially if you have to do something with this leg too. It's not like you're just hanging in that direction. Yeah.
yeah.
Huh.
But you do reset that left foot in that movement. So if you don't place it correctly,
Yeah, so I reset it too far at
yep,
the beginning,
yep,
and it's not as big a reset. But after the wave hands and I do that,
hmm
I reset it right
yeah,
because it's a different reset.
It
Yeah.
starts differently. You
Yeah.
gotta do it differently.
yeah.
Well, it's funny. I hadn't thought about this in a while, but yeah, the yang style is whoops. Everything is so much bigger,
Oh yeah,
as we know, right? But
absolutely.
kind of like just doing it a little more, yeah, a little tighter, and every so often maybe an appendage thinks it's somewhere else. Where are you, Carol? What are you doing today?
totally forgotten the young style.
But I
It's
sometimes I
not-
wonder if my body has though. I don't think I could start the young style and kind of do the whole. Yeah, I I haven't done it, and I think a couple of times at Tai Chi Day I've seen it. But every so often I think my body is like, where are you going?
I do teach
You
it.
do both, right?
I do.
You have to keep both of them.
Well, I don't keep the long form anymore.
You don't do
but
the young long
but I-
form.
but I still do a couple of short forms in other classes. So.
Mm. Yeah, I think I can do the one that we did in the seniors class.
Yeah.
When I
And
was
you do that
doing
just
it.
because you feel like those folks are already on that path, or it's a
No, I pretty much found that seniors just really can't. Most of them can't learn a long form,
the whole long form.
the whole long form.
Oh.
They can learn a short form. They can learn a 30 or 40 posture form.
Seniors, these are people 20 years younger than him, right?
Yeah.
So 10 years at least younger than us.
It's just
If you're just starting, especially.
it's just been
right?
my experience.
I know, that makes sense to me.
My experience with that is that trying to force them into learning a long form, for many of them, is just not possible.
Well, then why would they benefit at that
Yeah,
point?
then they don't benefit.
Then they don't benefit.
Yeah, I don't know that I could learn a long form now if I wanted to start and learn a new long form. I don't know if I could do
No,
that. I'm not.
Right, we've been
try.
doing this for a while here.
fortunately,
I mean, how long
I
have
don't
you been
need
doing
to
this?
at this
26,
point.
27 years?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because I'm at 24. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that, yeah. Yeah, if we're going to benefit from it, we have to, do what we can do.
But I mean, the reality, for instance, for me, I have days when I'm not having a good day with my back.
Mm-hmm.
When I can't do the whole long form straight through,
Uh-huh.
I'll do like the first and second paragraphs, and then I have to close it and start again after I've take a break
Yeah.
and do the third paragraph. And
And-
that's how, if I have to do that, that's how I have to do that.
Right. We have to
You know.
adjust to our
Yeah.
aging.
Because if I have so much pain that all I can feel is the pain, I don't really focus on the internal energy very much.
We can't. I mean, I remember when I had that sciatica problem and then everything went, I was out for really almost 2 months. And I was kind of got back to doing some working with chair. And
Yeah.
I knew I was really committed when I came back, right? Like after 2 months of like,
Yeah.
and that was when we didn't have Zoom. But,
Boy, Zoom has been a wonderful tool. It does not replace being in person.
no, but we wouldn't have Bill from the Shenandoah Valley there. I remember when they left thinking, well, that's
Or
the end
Jeff
of...
from Florida.
Or Jeff, you have Jeff, yeah.
And lots of people can't make it every week, so they do Zoom on the.
We're doing meditation tomorrow in person. It's the first time. I've never been in a room with Carol. The other Carol.
the other Carol.
No. We've been in rooms together for... Today's Annie's birthday. She's 47, so
Oh.
45 years. Right, because our girl, we were
too.
pregnant with Sarah Jane and Patrick yet, right? Yeah, we had kids that were 1.5 to 2 years old. So,
You guys have known each other for a while.
a few days.
Yes. So this coming together here is really a treasure.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah.
I thought about that. It's really.
And it's not like I came. I didn't even know you were doing this because Carol had moved around, and the kids had kind of connected us initially. It was your little ads and the knowledge bulletin after my knee. I hurt my second knee, and I knew I couldn't keep doing yoga with. I had been doing yoga with Maria at
Right.
College, You can do yoga with one bad knee. You can't do it with two. You just can't. It's like I just got back from India, and I knew I needed to practice that. That was very clear. So
Well,
here we are.
we're lucky that you
I
had to
know,
come
maybe I did too.
class.
Good Lord. Yeah, and it's kept me sane and stable at times. No, I think there is something about
Yes, it does.
that's very, very.
If I can practice, it does make it easier to deal with.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have the people turmoil you. I'm just
No, it's
focused.
just too many
on
groups.
job
Yeah, but you have.
turmoil you.
Yeah, but yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
has
When,
their own.
Yeah.
well, and right, and when a partner needs what he needs, that's a different level a deeper level, I think, in a way of the emotional toll that it can take on us.
Yeah.
He gets his wheelchair on Friday.
Oh, good.
He's motorized wheelchair.
Girl's gonna have to get out of the way. He's gonna get him a horn.
They have to.
The scooter has a beeper on it.
See, yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm thinking about it, on a bicycle horn.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I
Well, with the
looked at an air horn, but it said, don't
Oh
do
God,
this
no!
indoors.
Those things are horrible. You can hear 5 blocks away.
No, I don't need that.
Or a bell. We'll look at it. You know the bells on the tricycles, maybe.
Let's see where it can be attached. I have to have a cup holder first.
I'm sure they have all those.
I'm sure they have all of it.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Just wanted to get into the bedroom. Because the scooter doesn't, he did it once, and we haven't figured out how he managed it. Because it
Doesn't fit.
it doesn't turn. It's kind of longish, so.
The scooter's longish.
The scooter's
Oh, right. So it has
the
to.
wheelchair drive is in the center, so it should be able to turn very tightly.
Only
The
time
guy
I was,
thought it would work, so the wheelchair guy.
the only time I was in a wheelchair was when I had to travel after that whole episode with the terrible sciatica. And I went to Atlanta for a big gathering, and my W-year-old people were going to be there, so I felt like I had the support. I brought a cane with me, but I ordered a wheelchair in the airport, and they go so. I thought we're going to kill people in the
I know.
on the way
Yeah.
because it was like a 20-minute run to the. I think I was in New York that time. Yeah, I was down in
Yeah,
New
well,
York.
somebody was pushing you, right?
Someone was pushing me very quickly.
They do.
And I was like, oh my God. I don't know about this.
Boy, it's easier than walking that distance.
I don't think I could have made it because the New York
Yeah.
airports they literally are like, they'll say 20 minutes. Gate, 8A is 20 minutes away. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know about that one. Anyway. But I came
So-
back to the tight shoes. So,
so-
there you go.
So,
Should we do some of the first?
At least against a single woman, make sure we're not falling over.
yeah.
With or
yes.
without arms.
Ooh, I'd like to see that.
Falling over?
No, no
Not on
falling
this.
over.
Not on this cement. It'd be a bad idea.
I'm very opposed to falling over.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Yeah, and maybe beyond that, so that we can make sure we know what our bodies are doing after the Russian build is straight.
Sure.
'Cause-
So,
Maybe,
So before we turn,
yeah.
okay, to that point, and then just kind of do it. Okay.
so do you want to look at that before you flow? Before you.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt.
To look at it first. Okay.
Because in some way I just
Don't want to keep
So we would
doing it
come
wrong.
down and embrace, and then you're going to come into that left leg and come in. That's the twist and bend in, and then out and turn left into shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And now the point here is that you are not fully in your bow stance yet. You're just a hair back from completing that. And the first thing you're going to do is you're rotating and bending and twisting in and now opening out. So it's all happening. This is a place where you're only rotating in one direction, but in that rotation, you're you're both closing and opening.
Wow.
Okay, can you back
Or
up a
being
little bit
led.
so that we can both do
Yeah, I
it?
just realized to make sure I'm going, yeah.
So, so if you think about being at shoulder and you turn the left into that, and now you're turning right and very subtly shifting forward, but this is all bending in, closing. So there is a bending in. You have a bending and twisting in, and then out. Boom.
And it's not until there that we're really fully on the front foot.
Right. So it's a very the shift is extremely
Really
subtle.
So when we are back, is it a full empty foot or a little bit of
Back where?
when we're in shoulder?
Shoulder? You're 60% on the right
Okay.
foot.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
And then, well, yeah, that's right. And then you
I'm probably more
you may
70,
not
30,
be you may actually be more than
60.
I
Yeah,
mean-
I feel like
I mean-
I'm more 75, 25 or something like that. I don't know.
you've
Hard to
you've
tell.
got more weight on the forward leg actually than the rear
Here?
here.
Good Lord.
Oh, you're striking there.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah.
so
Okay.
and then it continues forward as you bend in, and then you reach a point where you start into actually the right hand deflects and the left strikes, and then they both do that push down.
And that goes into.
Then that goes into out, in, out.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I remember going through this. After I was learning the form and I'm flowing through it and I've got all the parts, but then I suddenly realized that when I got to follow and focus, I was just going in. I was, there was no, I was not doing the whole movement. So when you get to here, there is both an out, an open, and a close. And a close
then
further, and then an out.
Yeah. Yep.
Or open.
Right.
And so that,
Those little ones are
they're
the subtle
hard.
ones are the hard. I mean, I literally have this little list when I'm like out, in, out. You know, it's like
Yeah. Well, that's
kind of
what
my
you have to
cheat
do.
sheet.
Yeah.
Because, and then if I haven't done it for a few days, I'm like, there's 6 here. It's supposed to be 8,
Yeah.
or whatever. There's 2, and it's supposed to be 4.
And now
it's
we're
out.
coming around to
Oh, okay.
brushing
Yeah.
or whatever we're
Go
doing.
back.
Whatever form you happen to be doing at this point.
Wherever you are. Yeah. So if you're going, back to brush knee, you're going back, and in this one, you have that open and close and open.
You know, David, I think one of the ones that I'm having a little trouble with is after this, and then when we go back and around the back, I'm not exactly sure. I think I've skipped something there. So let's do
That's, you mean in movement,
right now.
in
Keep
paragraph
going.
2.
No, paragraph 1, where we are now.
Well, we don't go to the back here at all.
Well, yeah, eventually we do. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. Just very briefly. Let's keep doing this for a minute, and then we'll.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, so we get to here, and then
Yeah.
it's out, in, out, and back to play peepaw,
Mm-hmm.
and then a little turn and step into.
No.
No,
not
that's
yet.
where you're missing the one. So
Oh, I'm missing.
back.
Oh,
This
I'm
is the
sorry.
where I mean the
I'm
back. That's
sorry.
okay. That's
You're
okay. I
absolutely
get why
right.
it's.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
All right.
I'm sorry.
So after play peepaw.
After play peepaw, you have in, out, in, out.
Okay. Yeah.
But they are to the. You have the first. You're right. The first one is to the back.
To the back. Yeah.
The
But
second.
it's
The
just a
second
simple-
one's to
yeah.
the corner.
Yeah.
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 I distinctly remember the back one because at one point you pointed out to Shelley and I that neither of us were actually going to the back.
Yeah.
Oh, we're supposed to do that. Yes.
Well, I think I would. For a while, I was just kind of like boom, 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 boom.
So-
Like I
so
wasn't
over
really.
there.
I was kind of passing through.
Yeah. Yeah.
But okay, yeah, no, that's what I've been. Okay. Carol, do you want to do the beginning so that we have the wave hands in there? That challenge,
Yes.
the leaning over,
Falling down.
not falling down. Back over here.
Please don't fall down.
No, I don't think we'll fall. I think that's about Tai Chi is that we know if we are.
We know not to.
We know not to, or we know somehow I instinctually, if I'm rushing on a sidewalk and there's this little thing, I feel like some people would be on the ground, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Whoop." And it's not a thinking thing, or it's my body kind of.
Hopefully
There
it's.
are a few times when
Well, I have
suddenly
fallen.
I've been upright and then I've been on the floor.
How did I get here?
No transition.
You have no idea. Yeah. Do the beginning at the
Those are
beginning.
outside though. I intentionally didn't place this in more,
Yeah.
and
Lovely more.
that worked better. Though it was interesting, my bones in my feet were going. I can feel it.
Interesting. And I can't do that one without hands. That's the one I have a big challenge with.
Oh.
I mean, I think I did it fine now, but I know I'm. This is helpful, and especially with it, because I know that there are just little things I'm missing. I might be not closing where I should be, whatever.
Where?
I think coming at just some of the places that we had just talked about.
Uh-huh.
Just so it's. I mean, I'm aware now.
Yeah.
But I think that it's kind of like with the opening and kind of going, oh yeah, okay, I'll just put my hands over there. You know, I mean, it's like, I have the 8
Yeah.
different things I have to do. So I think it's more that, like, oh, okay.
Yeah, just
Just being more aware of those.
specifics.
Of the specifics of opening and closing. So this is very helpful because then it.
Good. Did you have another question?
No.
Okay. So my thought is then next week if you're coming next week or whenever you
The
do,
hope. That's always the hope.
we
That's the
should
plan.
Yeah.
try to go a little beyond this.
Yes, yeah. But this helps because I think it's hard to get beyond it if you're carrying questions.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Thank
ladies.
you. Thank you.
Good class.
Yes. Good class. All right. What time is it?
It is.
10:44.
Is it really?
Yeah. Oh, we managed to go.
I knew we were going longer, but I'm not wearing my watch to class purposely, but both because it's heavy and because I don't want to be looking.
Well, I try to keep track of the first class and not go too long with that one, but
Well, I think this one, like last week, we had to leave a little early if we've got something
yeah,
after.
Oh,
I have
we-
something after,
we
but I always
we flow.
give myself a little break. Get home. All right, I'm gonna go up through the house so I can go to the bathroom before we leave.
Okay.
I have my.
Do you have your checkbook with you?
Oh, in the car I do. I can run out and get that. Carol, I'll meet you with maybe. Oh no, I can bring it tomorrow. Can I bring it tomorrow?
Yeah, bring it
That way
tomorrow.
we're not, because it is getting late.
Yeah, bring it tomorrow.
I mean, I always bring the checkbook. I just don't always bring it inside.
That's
But I can pay you tomorrow. No problem.
that's fine. No problem.
No problem. Yeah, as long as we still keep getting Social Security, I'm fine. Not that I don't have any money. It's just that we have it in savings rather than the checking, and suddenly
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
oh my God, why do we spend all of that money?
Right. I
Because everything comes at once. That's why.
yeah. Tell me about it.
So you kind of go, whoops. So yeah, I'll have it. I always have I just always carry my backpack. And tomorrow I'll be driving myself. So.
Yeah. Cool.
Carol.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
I know. Imagine. Well, Linda did come to my the training I did, and
Oh,
I
good.
did a training in August, and she's been doing this Kenyan balance thing, so I was able to introduce her to my co-trainer, who has also had that same training, and
Oh, good.
so I think that was good. That was nice to have her there. And yeah, it's one of those like, oh, she's much taller than I thought.
Oh, yes,
Because
she's
you
very
can't
tall.
tell. I can't tell on Zoom.
No, she is tall,
Yeah.
but she is a very sweet person.
Oh yes, no, I can tell that. Oh yeah, well, I can tell that on Zoom.
Yeah.
But in person too, yes. So.
Yeah.
So you go to the bathroom.
And we'll
I'll
meet you
I'll
out.
go to the car and get your checkbook.
Well, I can do
Or
it tomorrow,
I'm
but I'm here tomorrow,
Oh,
so
okay.
don't worry about it, because we are running
Yeah.
late, and I do have that 5 hours of getting a grant in today.
But I also do need to go to the bathroom.
Oh,
so-
well,
Okay.
that's perfectly
Oh,
all
okay.
right.
What's the middle line?
Yeah.
Hi, David.
Bye. You can both go up and
Yeah, yeah.
Say hi to Jane.
no problem.